Well, hello there ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of my Transport Fever Let's Play series on White Valley. Today we're starting off in the town of Hampstead. We're continuing on from where we left off in the last episode, essentially upgrading this town and making it better for the future. So the first thing I need to tell you about is that in the last episode we built a train line going from here, Hampstead, up to Bawtry, and then from Bawtry on to Portishead. These originally also had bus routes as well, a bus route going from Hampstead to Bawtry and then a separate one going from Hampstead to Portishead. They have now been removed. The city here originally had a transport connection of about 40%, but it's down to 11%. We're going to aim to get this up to 75% this episode through a means of probably trams and maybe one or two wee shuttle buses. This has also had an additional knock-on effect in internal transport in Bawtry, and then also Portishead does actually have a tram which is good, but I think the tram needs a bit of work, which we'll go ahead and do shortly as well. We've also got overcrowding on a lot of trains which we need to deal with too, so it's all going to be go this series. It looks like my new line is very high in demand. Hampstead to Portishead. Over 200 people waiting. Maybe the trains aren't big enough. Maybe the trains aren't big enough. That could be a real problem. I do really love these trains. I can't remember what they are. They're Stadler something. What have we got in here? Does it tell us? Doesn't tell us, but they are absolutely wonderful trains and they do a very good job. We'll have to wait and see how profitable they become, but I do think this route does have the demand to be very profitable as time goes on. Right, anyway, back here to Hampstead. I want to build some trams. We need a few tram routes. We also need to sort out a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of vehicles which are just being sold and returning to depot on our old bus routes anyway, which is good to see. Right, let's go ahead and I've just deleted the bus station which was previously here, so I want to go ahead and build a new transport hub anyway which supports buses and trams and a lot of them. But I would like some with better entrances and exits, just because of the fact that having some more exits and entrances would be easier. Though I'm not really seeing any which have lots of entrances and exits, and this could be problematic. I mean, we could do something like this, but you only have one entrance and exit, which isn't ideal, because if we have the entrance and exit there, which is fine, then there's no real easy exit to the train station, is there? So, you could always have it here, but then it's going to make just junctions here really messy. Tell you what, we'll go for this, because I think this looks nice. Let's go for electric, and that is all in all... That's going to give us 3 different tram platforms and then 2 bus platforms as well. So that works out really nicely. I really like the look of this so far. Right, okay, so let's do that. Tram tracks, electric. Yes, so that's that sorted, no problem. Right, so that's that dealt with for the time being. The next thing I need to do is actually go ahead and choose where we're going to have trams in this city. Because it's a large city, Hampstead. We've got a population of over 2,800 and growing quite rapidly here. So let's have a look at this view, and we'd really need to connect up residential areas with commercial areas. That's really what we want to go ahead and do. And we're going to probably have to have a tram for both sides of the city, which isn't a problem at all. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add a few more smaller stations in here actually as well, because that's easy enough to do. Or maybe have some... We'll leave actually other stations for now and we'll just go for turning circles. So the first thing I want to do is upgrade some roads, because that's going to be a big thing. So bus lanes and also electrical trams, yes, because we're going to have sort of a main street going along here. So we're going to build trams up to this top end of town here. This is very much a residential part of town. So we'll have a turning circle there. That works out nicely there. Then we'll have a tram come right down the city front here. And we're going to have multiple different tram routes in this town, but we're just not going to have lots of trams on them, if you know what I mean. So that can work out nicely. So that can be one tram route, going from the north to the south. Then what I want to do is have another tram coming out along here. Though that could be problematic with the construction at this crossroads here. I don't know why it does this sometimes. It is really frustrating. It's that little bit there which is causing me a nuisance. So let's go ahead and remove you, and let's go ahead and... yeah, this is all going to have to be cut back, which is a shame because we've got some good density here. Let's go ahead and build you from there into there. Let's get my magic wand back out here. Now we're along here, I would like to go ahead and probably just go directly down into the corner. However, you can maybe make this a little bit more interesting. So let's go ahead and build you up to there. Let's come off the upgrade tool and let's build you up into there. These two are going to actually come very close together, but that's fine. Have you come along, though that's not going to work, or that is going to work. Tell you what, let's go ahead and get rid of this road here, and let's see if we can go ahead and just relay this here like so. Let's cut that back, and let's draw a new road into here like that, and then cross over into there like so. This is actually just going to be one big extra circle here, isn't it? Which is fine. I guess it's just not going to maybe be... could that be a tram route? Or would that be too short? Or tell you what, we could actually make this a total different route and we could go up here. This would work out quite well actually. And then just have you maybe terminate up here. This junction here is going to be problematic and very busy in the future, so we're going to go sort that out shortly too. We need a tram to come down here though, that's the only downfall. We definitely need a tram coming through the back streets over here. Just because this area here is quite well connected and it's also quite mixed in terms of residential, commercial, and also goods too. But we can always have you coming down and then joining in at the turning circle here. Though this city must be on a hill because it's really being really awkward for me to build. So let's go ahead and do that there like that, and that'll work out nicely. Right, okay, so that's me got some tram lines in place, which is good to see. We can definitely have quite a long tram line there. I need to sort this bit out here. This is going to be our first big problem. So let's pause. Let's go ahead and upgrade this street here. No bus lanes and no trams though. Just upgrade you just in general. This needs also capacity increase too, though it's over the railway line. I did build this at the end of the last episode actually. We're going to have to cut it back though. Just because this is one of only 2 roads in this town which crosses the railway tracks, making it extremely busy. So let's do that. Then let's go ahead and redo this here. So, if we could have you coming up here like this, and then crossing over like so. I'm not really bothered at what angle, and then you can come along here. Stop there maybe, and then let's have part of you go over to there, and then maybe have part of you come up from... though that, I'm not going to be able to do that. I think it's because that bus stop's in a really awkward place. We'll just do something like that, so that should help the car flow throughout the city. And let's upgrade this piece here. Though I still do want to have a turning circle up here too, so let's go back to electric and bus. You come round this corner easy enough, then you can come across here, and then you can just come up here, and then probably turn at the very end here. You can imagine the city is going to expand still a bit, so this works out nicely. So let's go off upgrades, and let's go ahead and just have a turning circle up here. Like so, and that works out nicely. Right, so you can't really, I guess, envision where my routes are going to go, but we will sort that out in a second. Let's go for bus lanes, no, and tram, no. I just want to downgrade some of these roads, actually, which previously had buses on them. That will do for the time being, and yeah, I think that will do. Right, that's perfect. Right, okay, so the next thing I want to do is get rid of old bus stops, which are no longer going to be used. That's not what I meant to do at all, but I've done it anyway. Let's go ahead and delete you and you. That is really frustrating actually, and again, I need to just do so much to this town, it's crazy. Right, let's go ahead and downgrade you and downgrade you. There's no need for bus lanes on this route anymore. Let's upgrade you. which is fine, and then we can just leave you. Actually, let's upgrade you as well for the time being. Right, okay, so that works out nicely. Any more old bus stops, first of all? There's one here, which can be removed. It doesn't look like there's any more around here. That's going to become a new tram stop, which is fine. We'll delete that bus stop there. You'll be used. You can get removed. And then over the other side, I think we've got quite a few here, which we can go ahead and remove. You in particular, as well as you, and we're going to come and do this side separately because I'm going to need to have quite a few different tram lines over there anyway. Right, so to start off with, let's go ahead and do our first tram route, which is going to come out here of Hampstead. It's going to come up here, stop there, then it's going to stop, I guess probably maybe here. And then we're going to have one at the top of the turning circle. So that's going to be an incredibly short route. So tell you what, we'll expand this one to also come across and stop here. Then you can come up and use this turning circle here, which is easy enough to do. So I have a stop there and a stop there. So that will be our line 1 for Hampstead, which should be not too bad. I really know how we are going to do this now, actually. I've got a perfect idea in my head. And I'm sure you guys have similar ideas in your heads too. Right, so I don't actually want that to be the terminus. The terminus can be the turning circle up here. So let's start up at Grange Road. Then from Grange Road we're going to be coming down to Church Road. Then from Church Road to New Road to Park Avenue. And then we come into the Hampstead branch. Then across Park Road. Then up around Springfield, Park Lane, and then back to Park Road. There is going to be a bit of an inefficiency coming in and out of the Hampstead branch, but as it being an exchange, it's going to have to do this way. Unless things are really, really bad with traffic and then things don't work out. Anyway, this is going to be TR Hampstead 1, because we're going to have multiple in this town, as I've said. So TR Hampstead 1 is a go. Now let's go ahead and add in our TR Hampstead 2 and our TR Hampstead 3s, which should be easy enough to do. Right, so we'll start off with route number 2, funnily enough, and it's going to come out of Hampstead, but this time it's actually going to come up here. Then you're going to have another station here, and then another station over here. So that's its northern part, and then its southern part is going to come down this street here. Very busy street this looks like, actually. It's going to stop in here. Then it's going to stop at the bottom of the turning circle like so. So let's go ahead and get you connected up. So High Street, Grove Street, the good old Grove Street, North Street, Victoria Street, into the Hampstead branch. Then you're going to continue up Manchester Road, into George Street and around London. Back down Manchester, into Hampstead branch, into Victoria Street, into North Street, and into Grove Street. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the TR Hampstead 2. Perfect. And then finally we just need our TR Hampstead 3, which should be easy enough to do. So it's going to use this bottom station, it's going to use a station here, a station here, a station here. Then it can maybe have, I don't think it needs another station. Actually, we'll put another station here, just why not. It will not go around the turning circle, but it will come along, and it's just going to be a point-to-point from Hampstead Central here. I don't think this one will be as in high demand as the other two, mind you. But it should be quite effective nonetheless anyway. So it's going to connect up just other parts of town, I guess, which aren't as well connected up. This could quite easily be extended if the town grows out this way as well, which I've got a feeling it might do, though I can't really put my finger on it right now. Anyways, this is the TR Hampstead 3. So that works out well. So this is the town now really going to be really well connected. If we remove this view here, because I no longer need it, that gives you a real good picture of how things are going to look in this town. So I'm really happy with how this right hand side is connected up, really well connected up from north to south. The only, I guess, minor flaw I could see in it is maybe could have a stop maybe up here, and then as well with a purple line I could redirect it at a later stage if need be down here. but we'll see how things go. So with that done now, I only just need to go ahead and build another line over this side. I don't think we're going to have many terminuses on it this side at all, to be honest. This should be a lot easier. So let's go ahead and select yes and electric once more. Let's go ahead and upgrade all this. This will be our northern turning circle. And then we'll have, I guess, probably come down this road here, preferably. You'll cut in here, and then you can come along and... What I want to do is just have one line on this side, but it's probably going to be quite a busy line, so we'll have a station there. Have you come out and come along into the... looks like suburbs over here, and then we can come down more, which looks like the factories down here. Extend you down, and then have another turning circle just down here at the bottom, pretty much like so. Though that isn't going to work too well. I think we're on quite a slope here. Yeah, we definitely are on a slope. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we go very high up here. I never realised how high up we went, so let's just go ahead and do something like that. Voila, that works out wonderful. Let's delete that, cut that back. I'll sort the terraforming out shortly, and then we can go ahead and finally upgrade this bit of the road, and that is the route, ladies and gentlemen, for TR4, which looks good. So we'll have a stop at our turning circle. We'll have a stop here for the factories, and another one probably in there. We'll then have a stop here, another one there. Then we'll have our big one outside of the train station. Another stop on the streets here. Another one on the streets here, and then we can have probably two for this turning circle, in fact. One over here, and then another one just there. And I think these 3 or 4 routes, should I say, could be really, really profitable. I think this is going to make this town a really amazing town. It really badly did need the work, to be fair, so I do think that this will help very much so going forwards. Right, so that goes around that way, that's fine. Back to the green, back to New Street. I've got the green twice in about 2 stops. We'll rename the green closer to the railway station. Queensferry and then South Street, which is perfect. So finally, ladies and gentlemen, we've completed our massive project. That's only taken me about 15 minutes to do. So that's the TR Hampstead 4, which is sorted. Right, are you a bus depot? You are a road bus depot, which is not perfect. You don't go ahead and give me trams, unfortunately, so let's go ahead and remove you. Let's go ahead and build a new tram depot. We'll do it right at the end here. So we need roads, we need depots, we need trams. And let's go ahead and stick you in up the hill here. Right, so this side of the town, I think we're probably going to start everything off with Cobras. We're going to buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Cobras for this. I really didn't think that through there, did I? I'm very quickly just going to sell all these again, just because I didn't colour my trams. I do like to colour my trams, so these are going to be pink to make the boys wink, and it's not actually the right shade of pink, but they'll do anyway, so you guys are good to go. You can actually just start running the game again, actually, so that should hopefully have an effect on this side of town really quickly. Do want to rename this, just call you Central Tram Stop, like so, and that works out fine. And then we've got the Hampstead. I just want to rename you to like the Hampsteads, call you like the Exchange. Give it a jazzy name there, though if I could spell, that would be wonderful. There we go. Right, okay, so that's that sorted out. Now I need to go ahead and sort out our other 3 tram routes with various tram depots. So I think it would be logical if I had a tram depot down the bottom here, and then one at the top of the town, which would allow me to cover all 3 lines as there is a bit of overlap. So again, I think we're going to go for Cobras. Let's go ahead and start off by checking the route colours. Also realise that I've got you guys going round the circle the one certain way here. I might be more efficient going ahead and changing that. We'll have a look at that in a second anyway. Right, let's start off by what route is going to be the busiest. I would say the green route and the purple route are going to require 6, and then maybe the other, I guess, what sort of colour is that? A dark green going on... I don't even know how you would describe it. That'll probably require less trams, I think. I don't think it'll be as busy. Right, so let's buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trams. Let's go ahead and get you guys on the go on the Hampstead 2. Then let's go ahead and jump back into here. I really made a meal of that, didn't I? Let's go ahead and get 6 purple trams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I've gone for the wrong shade again. Set you onto the Hampstead 3, and then the Hampstead 1 is going to be the route which I don't think is going to need as many trams. Just because it is not going through as built up areas as the other two anyway. Plus it's pretty much just a residential line. It doesn't connect up really with the south where all the industrial traffic is. This is a dark yellow is what it is. That's the best way to describe it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll start you off with 4 because I think 4 should be okay. And then you can get to work and we'll see. We'll come back. We'll have to come back anyway to this town and really see how things are. So things at one stage were at 11% transport connectivity. The population has also drastically dropped. Mainly based on the fact that I went ahead and deleted a lot of roads and people's houses by accident. However, hopefully things will change now as time goes on. Right, so with Hampstead now sorted out, that is great. We're going to go ahead and change our focus over to Bangor and Southgate, I guess, because things need to change in both of these towns. So the first thing I want to do is upgrade this train station. Let's go ahead and add an extra platform in because we're going to want to make this a through station as part of my next project. So let's bulldoze you and let's upgrade you. Perfect. Now what I want to do is I want to have, I guess, some train tracks coming flying out the other side. Of course, I could just tell by the way this road laid there. I could just tell that was going to happen. Right, let's delete you. Let's go ahead and cut you back. So that works out there. Now we need to go ahead and bulldoze all of that, unfortunately. And let's go ahead and relay this like so, and select no and no there. So that's the original road in, just minus quite a lot of buildings. Let's just delete this road as well because it's in the way. Right, okay, so now we're going to have our new railway line which is going to go around to Spalding. There's a bus route in place here, but as I continue on my network expansion, I want to go ahead and connect most stuff up by trains, if I can do. So let's go ahead and have you cutting through the mountainsides. We're losing a bit of speed here. We're going to have a tunnel because from what I remember there's quite a drastic hill drop here. Or we can have this, I guess, hug the mountainsides. Yeah, I don't mind that at all actually. So as long as we're keeping 100 miles per hour then that's fine. So we've got the railway line to there. Where's the station in Spalding going to be though? I think we can have it really central here actually. I would like that. I would like that a lot. And let's go ahead and do that, and let's have that come into... Do I want a through station here, or do I want a dead end station? That's a real question, because I could have a dead end station coming off this pretty much centerpiece here, coming along where my mouse is and through this small gap here. However, realistically, I think I would do want a through station, just for Newton Abbot, or Newton Abbot should I say. Though I could always have just a terminus here, have like maybe 3 platforms, and then just have the trains circle in and out. I think that's what I'll do actually, and I think we should only need 2 high speeds. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go ahead and connect you up there. Like so. So that's really, really nice and central, and it just works perfectly. And that should also allow for our trains to come in there nice and easily, keeping really good speed until the final approach, which is nice to see. And it also means we don't have that many tunnels either. So let's go ahead and double all of this up. This is actually going to be a really, really quick extension while we go ahead and carry this out. And then we can also go ahead and get rid of this bus route. So we are really killing the bus routes for the time being. Buses are ideal for situations where you can't have trains or trams, but in most cases, because this map isn't overly hilly, in general it's quite fine. Right, so that's the line built itself, so let's go ahead and add in some signalling. Again, I want these signals quite close together just because we're going to have quite a lot of trains on this. We're going to expand the train route from Hampstead up here all the way to Spalding, so this is going to be one of our longest lines. I think I said this at the start of the episode, but I rudely cut myself out. I was asked to go ahead and play around with my train line lengths with regards to the amount of stops on my routes, just because most of mine only have maximum 2 stops right now. And I've been told that it's maybe more profitable to go for more. I know very much up until I stopped playing last September it was better to have short routes, however that wasn't very realistic, so I guess now the tides might have turned and things might have changed, the game developers might have gone ahead and implemented a fix. I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, let's jump back into here. We've got some trains which are really not profitable, i.e. these guys, which is not great at all. So we'll need to address that issue. You're not very frequent though, so I can see why that possibly is. Right, so this is the route which we're modifying. It is currently doing very well. Its frequency could be much better though. Right, so after Southgate anyway, we're going to expand you now up to the town of Spalding. And then you're going to return and come through Southgate like so. Though there is a bit of an issue here, that being that we need to go ahead and double up this section here. Like so. And then you should jump across. Nope, do I have to do this manually again? Looks like I do. Right, so coming in, we need to have 3. You need to jump to Terminal 2, so that works out fine. And there we go, and the error is not to do with this new line. Right, so that's that new expansion sorted, though the frequencies drastically drop. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in 2 new trains onto this. We're going to add the same type of train, we're just going to add in 2 more. Which I also played around with at the end of the last episode as well. I modified this and up the frequency and capacity, just because it was really, really needed. Alright, so 168, 2 more of these for 20 million hop. And let's go ahead and stick you onto the Hampstead to Southgate, which I guess that route name is no longer valid because we're going round to Spalding. So let's go ahead and make that change now. And voila, there we go. So with that change made now, we can go ahead and start to work on a final project I want to do this episode, and that's internal connections in Bawtry. Just because there isn't any anymore, but one issue we're having here was that the profitability of this was not doing very well. All the trains are full, so we need more trains basically. That is the gist of things. Sorry, I had a wee hiccup there. Right, let's go ahead and add on some more trains of the same type, because I do actually really like these trains on to the route. And it is these bad boys, the Stadler Kiss, or the Westbahn 4010. So let's go ahead and add in 1. Let's see, the route's now profitable, of course. We could possibly go ahead and go for... Should I build for the future? Yeah, let's build for the future, because I think we're going to have some really effective trams in with the town here of Bawtry, so that should hopefully go ahead and increase the demand for trains anyway. So that's 5 trains now on that route, so it's very, very frequent going forward, and there shouldn't be much delays. How are you guys getting on? Because we were having also some issues on this orange route which goes from Bawtry here to Chorley, which is another place we need to go ahead and sort out. So we've got 3 of you guys, and you guys are full, and the frequency's low. So we can go ahead and... Well, I mean, the frequency's good, but it can be much better, that's for sure. So we'd like to go ahead and, just because as well here, as you can see, there's quite a few people waiting. I think we need to address this issue. So the engine house is here. What I do want to do first of all is upgrade these trains. I think I want to go for something else just because I'm already using this type of train, so let's do that first of all. Then let's go from there. So what are we thinking here? I do want a train with a bit of a faster capacity because this is a high speed line. So we can go for another Stadler train maybe, maybe something... What about these guys? We've not used these before, have we? They're expensive, but they're maybe worth it. So currently on this route we've got 92 seater capacity, which isn't too bad, but it's not really good enough, is it? So let's go ahead and put 131 seater trains on here. That should help go ahead and solve our problem a little bit. These are long trains as well, and let's go for on and replace now at 85 million. So that's gone ahead and dented my wallet. And then let's go ahead and also add in another single one of these as well. So that takes the fleet size for this line up to 4, which is nice to see. So these look some really nice trains actually. I wonder how they will operate on the line. And here comes one now. So let's go ahead and get a nice look at this. Reminds me of some of the high-speed trains in Europe actually. I'm guessing these trains are from Europe, though I can't really tell what nationality. Someone might be able to fill me in the comment section below. But they are very nice. They are very long though so far. Yeah, they are mightily long actually, so thank God we only went for the single version of these and not double. There's one odd car in the middle here. Is this just like the restaurant car? Okay, that makes sense. But there we go. Right, so they're on the move now, so they should hopefully go ahead and have some effect on the overcrowding anyway at this station here at Chorley, and also I imagine there's some effect on Bawtry and also Portish Head. Right, anyway, we need to get back to business here because we're coming to the end of this episode. So let's very quickly go ahead and get this tram line in. And then we'll go ahead and go from there. So, tram will come right along the front here. It will then come along to this end here. And then I will have a turning circle out here, which is fine. Then we're going to make the tram come up this hill here. We're going to have... I might need 2 trams in this town actually. 2 tram routes, I think we will. First thing is I'm going to have to delete this whole section here, which is tragic, I know, but I need to be able to get this to connect into there. So that works out nicely. Then we can have you come back down here. Nope. We can have you come along. Nope. Nope. We can have you come along here maybe. Nope. Problem is we're on a hill here, as you can see from this angle, so it is quite problematic. Let's go ahead and delete that and delete that. Let's go ahead and delete you. Let's bring you from there to there, though that's not going to work unless I cut this back, which is going to result in more building destroying. So you come down there, and now we basically just want to bring it up over to here, which is easy enough to do. Let me just go ahead and very quickly build a turning circle. Like so, so that works out nicely. So this is going to be quite a long tram route actually, but it will serve the people nicely. Let me just go ahead and no, and let's just return those roads to, or at least this road anyway, to normal. Right, coming back over here, we're going to need to bring the tram, I guess, down the mountain. I don't know how this is going to work at all. Delete that section as well. Hopefully they will restart building very quickly, especially with the introduction of the tram line. Too much slope, right? Huh, great. Have you go to there. This is going to be a really awkward angle. Then you're going to have to cut back. That works actually. You're allowing me to build that, and then we have you come along here, and then we'll just introduce another turning circle in here, like so. And there we go. So that is the new tram line pretty much built, and we'll go ahead and finish it off in the next episode. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Transport Fever. We've gone ahead and pretty much sorted out Hampstead now, reviewing the trams. We've got lots and lots of movements going on in the town. How are the trams doing? Very badly negative, unfortunately, so we'll address that issue in the next episode. Maybe I went ahead and overshot with the tram sizes, I'm not at all sure. Maybe I've got too many lines. We'll have a look at it. We don't have any of them in the profit actually, and they're all costing us quite a bit of money, so not great, but I do like what we've done with the town anyway. I do like our wild expansion. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this episode, so please leave a like, rate, and subscribe if you are new around here. Go down into the comment section below, leave me some feedback, and I'll integrate it into future episodes. That's all for this episode, so thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.